Come on there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community with great advice. I know who I should go see. So Around Town Radio.
Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a nooner here at All Around Town Radio. It is Wednesday with the band, and we have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to introduce my special guest, somebody I have watched play for years and years, just an absolute icon in the Cincinnati music scene, Mr. Greg Anedrson joining me today. How you doing, Greg?
Hi, Scott. How you doing?
It is great to have you with us today. You're doing all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about a fundraiser specifically today on the show, but you're a busy man, aren't you?
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of projects, not only for music, doing a lot of traveling, and just got back late last night, but glad to be here.
Well, glad to have you with us today. And let's talk about a band you were in for years that was anybody I ever talked to in the Cincinnati music market or surrounding area, the tri-state, always talks about Prisoner. Let's talk about the history a little bit of Prisoner and the guys that made that thing such a unbelievable project.
Sure. I think the core goes back to Prisoner itself started back in 1980. I think the core really started in 79 when they were just kids, just like me. And had a great, just a vertical pace in the early 80s in the club scene, of course, because they were young and all those kids were growing up and they would come out to see them in force. It didn't matter if it was Tuesday through Sunday is when they used to play. We used to play 6 nights a week.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, it was a grueling schedule, but when you are 20 years old, that's nothing, man. I mean, tell you what, and to be all honest, you're not exactly living a Cub Scout life. You are out there maybe after a show and having some fun as well. So you can get up and do it all again the next day for years and years and years. So a lot of fun. They came through the Cincinnati area, playing the local clubs. Some people might remember Never on Sundays. I think there's a lot of people will smile when I say Annie's down on Kellogg Avenue. The many other areas that we would go around the city. Hurricane Surf Club was another one in the later years. Great club, great atmosphere, great time in the Cincinnati music scene. So I came in around after Russell Jenkins left for CGSS in 1984. And I was at Ohio University. I decided to quit school to become a rock and roller. But so started there. And my transition into Prisoner was not easy because Russell I had some big shoes to fill there. He had a nice following, coolest guy. I knew that back then, that's for sure. But somehow we all weathered the storm together, had a great time. It has just even a bigger following as it transitioned into what I think was the golden years of that heavy metal rock and roll genre that Prisoner personified. And we grew up with. We were the right age. Everybody coming to see us was the right age. And I got to tell you, if there's pretty girls, all the guys would have come. So we instantly doubled our fan base because
figured it out.
Yeah, we figured that out very early. So we had that thing going for us. We had that ground roots organic origin coming through us, and we played with a lot of great people throughout the years.
Every venue owner's dream: fill the room full of lovely ladies and the men will follow.
Yeah.
and the drinks will flow and all that. Were you playing back then sometimes like a residency for 4 or 5 nights a week in one club?
We would. A lot of time we would do that here locally. They would oblige us to play the whole week because they know they would get great ticket receipts throughout the whole week. I mean, it might be, might not be the same on a Tuesday or maybe a Sunday, but I'm telling you, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday was balls to the wall. And we just had a great time. They could count on that for many years. I talked to some of the guys in some of the bands out there, maybe Thruster, maybe Naked Truth, or some of our great fellows in the menus. Like, guys, how long can this last? Every single week, we just know it's going to be crazy. It's going to be filled. And it lasted for a long time. We had a golden run there for many years.
Well, yeah. And, that was the good old days, too, where you could go in, you could load in on a Tuesday and play through Sunday and never have to haul that equipment back and forth, which, and, back then equipment wasn't light either. It was a little, when you're rolling big giant stuff in, you did.
Big light shows with heavy trusses on there, and we owned it all. It wasn't before like now you just go in with a PA on the sticker or a couple laser lights. It was the big deal through and through. And we had to move some muscles, and there were some sore backs and some a lot of workers come up throughout the years. That was never paid.
Greg, I had somebody tell me once, we were talking about Prisoner, and they said if this band had been on the Sunset Strip in the 80s, we would have watched them on MTV. We would have seen them, out there. They would have been the Motley Crue style band. You see some similarities there? Yeah,
I do. We fit right into that genre very well. Our mindset, musical mindset, and influences, of course. I'm not going to ever take away that from Judas Priest to Black Sabbath to Kix to Motley Crue and Rat, all those guys, Warrant, all those guys were a great influence. Seems to me we played with all of them too, from Metallica to Rat to some members of Motley Crue throughout the years, and to the point where we know we were a very tight band. Maybe not have the great looks that some of the Pretty Boys did, but I guarantee you we could have been we could have been in the runnings there, and quite frankly. Our frame of mind was at that point that we had management that was going to go out and see them. We thought we could stay in Cincinnati, still make a living, which they did not make a living. That was the trade-off. Make the living at playing 5-6 nights a week and possibly get a record deal, because we had management representing us out there, and we had some very good offers. We had some terrible offers, and we passed on a lot of them. And quite frankly, the Geffens of the world passed on us too sometimes, because they had that roster of talent that already was hitting it on all cylinders.
Well, everybody back then in the 80s was a record producer or an A&R person or something. Yeah. Everybody you met seemed to be in the music business. It was funny. And you guys, I'm going to say, Greg, I watched you one night at the Bell and the Bear Jam. You got up there and sang a couple songs, and there were ladies in the audience who were just still enamored over you. I mean, they were like, that's my old Prisoner days. They're going crazy. Like remembering those days where we all went out 7 days a week and had fun and listened to local music. And there's obviously a love for Prisoner. And we're going to mention this fundraiser you guys are doing here in just a few minutes. But every time you play the Prisoner Resurrected type of style that they're putting on out there, it seems to be still a great draw with those people that were back in the day, great music lovers. So you've got to feel good about that.
Sure. And to clarify, and a lot of people know that the Prisoner Resurrected is not Prisoner. It is really, they came out with a couple years ago when Scott McCroby, Tim Keys, and Russell Jenkins, that were the core of that old Prisoner, kind of wanted to do that old set. And that's exactly what they do when they were there hitting on all cylinders in 1980, 81, 82, and portions of 83. They had a very unique set list that they're hitting on. And it is different than what Prisoner that I was involved in is different from. But they still have all the energy, all the fun. Of course, as you can see, if you remember this logo, Scott is no longer with us,
right?
And we miss him terribly. But they go together, and Tim and Russell still have that great connection. And I would like to add Stephen Shores, who's been in and out of Prisoner for many, many years, and is a vital part of that sound too. Is involved with that, and they do that. Now, this Prisoner Resurrected, as we dovetail so nicely into, I'm going to be involved with, and we're going to take on a little bit different tone and different set list there.
Perfect. Got a lot of comments coming in. Thank you guys for the comments. Mark Bransford, that's awesome. He says he's probably seen Prisoner 300 times back in the day. I can say I didn't see him that many times, but I did get the pleasure of seeing Prisoner back in my day as well. That was right in my wheelhouse when I went to see them, and it was a trip for me because I was in Dayton and they were playing Cincinnati a lot. But it was well worth the going down there, drinking a few adult beverages, and then trying to squint your eyes all the way home to Dayton to
we hit
return.
Dayton many times too. What was the big place up there? I can't remember all of a sudden.
You might have played Obadiah's. You might have played gosh, I'm trying to think what could it, the McGuffey's.
There you go. That was probably our home base up there. And along with several other places, but we did well there, as well as all the East Coast. Seemed like we played a lot of the East Coast, but not to interrupt. Continue.
No, McGuffey's gets referenced in the movie Roadhouse. If you remember that, he talks about an S-hole in Dayton that they played. I think that's what they were talking about. It was. Those were the days they were. So you're also doing some other things. I want to make sure we fit in at the end of the show. You're in Classic Rock Experience, which is doing great things. So we'll get to that. But let's talk about this fundraiser for a minute.
Okay.
Why the fundraiser? What is happening here? It's at the Blue Note on the 20th. So we'll get all this in for you so you can see it.
Sure.
But Greg, tell us about this. And you're joining Prisoner Resurrected that night for this.
Yeah, September 20th. It was a prisoner date, and it was a Prisoner Resurrected date. And Michael Scott gave me a call. Mainly me and Tim. We still stay in contact. We love the guy. He is battling some cancer. He has beat it on several occasions, but it keeps coming back. And so Michael is doing some unconventional, the getting out of Western medicine, so to speak. And there's nothing wrong with the road he's traveling. And I just got word as of last night, that he's seen some great improvements. They had some very encouraging diagnosis and feedback from his last sessions. So Michael reached out to us. This is non-Western medicine, not FDA approved. So it's European medicine. They're coming in, they're doing some treatments on Michael to see if they can corral this thing and finally beat it on what could be his last chance at beating this form of cancer. So Michael reached out to us and says, hey, this is not going to be covered. What can I do? Can I reach out to my brothers and the community in Cincinnati that I love and that love me? And they do. They love Michael. He was a vital part of that long run in Prisoner 80s and especially 90s run. So we put out a FundMe page. It's a GoFundMe type page. I cannot remember the actual address. I can get that up to you, and so you can put that out there. But so what we did, we put that out there. Within 1 week, we had over $25,000. I can't believe that kind of
wow.
That was 2 months ago. So what we're trying to do, as this date is coming up, is we're trying to get the word out and spread it out to people that don't come to bars anymore. We understand that. And I'm the same way. If I'm not playing, I'm not going out to a bar. I'm not running out after beautiful girls because I got a beautiful girl at home. But so bring your friends, relive some of your memories. But I'm going to get up there for the first time since 1999, right before COVID happened. Prisoner played their last show at What Is Annie's? What is Annie's and always going to be Annie's and like Live Nation to me. So what we did was in 1999, we stopped playing. We talked about we tried to get some Prisoner shows together, but nothing really came on to happen. I think there's a real want and to everything that is that Prisoner genre then. But we thought, hey, boy, this would be a great thing if Greg would join Resurrected Prisoner for the show for a good portion of that and play some of those songs that you don't hear anymore that Prisoner used to play that you might have enjoyed, that might bring people down memory lane and tickle some pretty girls' fancies, like you said, and walk down memory lane. Because, boy, you know what? We really did. We all grew up together. We did. They might have idolized them, but we met some great friends that we still have forever. We've lost touch with people that, geez, we would love to see again. We'd love to see your face again.
So it's basically a reunion show, kind of.
It is
and,
kind of,
you know,
it is kind of, but it is a fundraiser too. So don't be shy and bring your cash with you, people.
Yes, bring your wallets, if you will. And so a lot going on for this. The tickets are available at cincyticket.com if you want tickets to get in. But how are we raising money also at the event? Do you know?
I know that they're taking donations, they're having raffles, they're split the pots, and those normal things that you do at fundraisers. We had such an outpouring of people that volunteered their time to go around to organize this, to make it. It's not just Prisoner Resurrected show. It's just not more. It's much more than that. It is an event, and I want to stress that. For people to come back that said, oh, I just don't feel comfortable going down there anymore. Show your face, say hi, give us a high five, and be out the door within a half hour. We'd love to see you again. We'd love to take pictures and catch up. But so in order to do that, we're going to have other events, some scan things that we have on every single table that you can donate to. Immediately, that's the wave of the future. It's not just dollars and cents. In fact, it's more hit a scan to a GoFundMe page, and we're going to expose that every chance we get.
No, and that's a great idea, and it makes it easy on people. They don't have to get up and go to a table to buy raffle tickets at that point. They can just give. And you're obviously going to have that out to people who can attend as well if they want to donate to this cause. And so, Greg, for those who may watch the show here, and again, at live time today, we're not going to have a lot of viewers, but we're going to have a ton of viewers after the fact. So if you're watching afterwards, you have a question, I'm sure Greg and his group are going to share this. We'll share it. Drop a question in the comments. Be glad to answer it for you. But let's talk to someone who may say, I never had the opportunity to see Prisoner. I had my head in the sand for 40 years, but never got to see Prisoner. What can they expect to hear that night? Throw some songs out there they may be able to relate to.
Sure. I think we're going to be playing more in the that White Snake, Motley Crue. We are going to be doing Prisoner songs. A good portion of that is going to be Prisoner songs. So many of you know that we had 2 CDs, albums, however you want to do that, and did very well. On market, got played on WBN and local regional sales on radio stations on a honestly on a nice rotation. The WBN was so great for many years that that we can say if these guys that will be coming out here might be their mom and dads, and they bring their kids and their kids, and I go look at their kids, and they says, yeah, mom and dad still play that. So I know White Knuckle Ride. I know She Liked a Little of Everything. I know, all those great songs that mom and dad still play, and they think it's fun to go down memory lane. I'm sick of it.
That's really cool, though. That's really great. And thank you, Aaron Thomas. He dropped a link in there. I believe that's to the GoFundMe maybe, or something like that. Yes. And Tim Anedrson, thank you for joining us. He says,
my brother Tim. Hi, Tim.
Yes.
He's good man. He's a character. I don't know if you've had him on there. He was formerly with Naked Karate Girls, is now with the Whammies.
To
infuse a lot of light into that and fun. So people go out and see them. I'll give them a nice plug.
And thank you, Kevin Cooper, for joining us as well. Bill Dankoff, thank you for the comment. He says, my favorite Prisoner event, Lawrenceburg summer of 1982, along with Rock Duster, Lonnie Mac Wheels. How about that? Bill, you're showing your age, brother.
That's okay. That's okay. We've got a lot of people that were at that event. That was a big event. That was before my time. That was a year before my time. But I know that, and I heard that was just like one of their top things that just really, it's like, wow, these guys are for real. These guys can draw. These guys are the real, a future. These are our future.
Well, Greg, that date for this event, it is Saturday, September 20th at the Blue Note in Harrison. We're scrolling it across the bottom of the screen. Doors are at 6, shows at 7, tickets available at cincyticket.com. There are a lot of things going on that Saturday. I will tell you, I know next week I have another fundraiser jam that's on that is the same day that they're going to be on the show. So, guys, like he said, come in, say hi, drop some money in the bucket, whatever you got to do. Come in, say hi, enjoy meeting the guys again and seeing them, and then go to your next event and make it a day of it, because some of these events are going all day long, so you could hit them and then go to that one in the evening and wind out a nice evening. And the Blue Note's a great place to see a show.
Sure.
Greg, do you know, is this going to be an indoor or outdoor show?
I think this is an indoor show, because
this
is, we're talking about, to my knowledge, it's an indoor show, and there's no shortage of space there. There's been a lot of national acts there. If you haven't gotten there to see a national act, there's plenty of space and quieter rooms and things like that. But it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Aaron Thomas says classic Prisoner, an original Prisoner, AC/DC, Aerosmith, Priest, Priz original. Yes. They're all in there. He's also booing Teepee, by the way. He's throwing a little boo out there.
My brother.
Yes, Aaron's on a roll. He's commenting everywhere.
Now, Aaron, by the way, everybody, now you might know Aaron. Aaron, I like to tell everybody and put Aaron. He is the ultimate utility player for bands in Cincinnati. He has played in so many bands, including my brother's NKG, including he plays in DV8. But he is a prime force and pushing mechanism to get this show organized, and every detail has been taken care of. Him and Russell have really taken the lead in making sure everything they can do to make sure this is an event. It's not just a show. So you're going to see something special out there. And thanks, Aaron, for all you're doing.
Perfect. Aaron's a good guy, man. Love Aaron. Yep. And Mark Robinson is on here calling you his sensei, by the way. And by the way, Greg, I don't know if you know it, that was Mark's voice in the theme song at the beginning.
Is it? Okay. No, Mark, very well. We got a lot of laughs together.
Yeah, they do a great job. Said Brain Bucket opening, monster metal tunes, Aaron saying. So good deal on that.
That's who I was struggling to remember who is doing Brain Bucket, and Dane and all those guys, great friends of ours, Mike. And we're happy that they're part of this event.
Perfect. So yeah, that's the big thing going on Saturday, September 20th. I'm sorry. Doors at 6, show at 7. Blue Note Harrison, easy to get in and out of, easy to get to. And everybody, I talk to people all the time. I go to Blue Note shows a lot, and I'm live up South Dayton area. So it's like people are like, oh, that's such a trip. It's really not. I mean, you're on the highway, you're there, you're quick there, easy parking. And a wonderful place to see live music. Sure. And you guys, it's kind of nostalgic in a way, I think.
I think so. And you know what? We had a great following in Dayton and up in, all over the place. But Dayton, and especially Middletown, Ohio, we would love to see all those people that used to go to the U-turn and the wheel and all. It was just, wow, that was a fun place too.
You just took me back, man. I used to play in a country band at Brandy's Wagon Wheel up there in Middletown. Woo, doggies. Yeah, where they swept up the eyeballs from the fights at the end of the night, but we had fun. Yeah.
That was unique. It was just a unique flavor to that whole area. The guys were different, the women were different, and it would just seem to be like, man, I'm just having the best time of my life up here.
I love that you said different. That's a good term. I'd use another term for it, but I'll leave it alone. I'll get haters if I do, but you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Different's a good term. So tell me about classic rock experience you're doing too, because that's a force out there. People love that.
Absolutely. We are now Prisoner took off, and I did nothing for a year. I couldn't believe I actually made it through, but it went through COVID. So you know what? No harm, no foul. I couldn't have played anyway if I was associated with anyone. After COVID started dying out in 2022, late 2022, Mike Oakley approached me, and Greg St. Charles approached me about possibly filling in and replacing their current singer who lived in Chicago. It just wasn't working out because he had job obligations, and geographically it was tough. So I was open. to that new thing, their classic rock experience on kind of a different level. Tim Keys does a project that is getting to be on our level, playing in beautiful, beautiful theaters and outdoor festivals and concerts that have thousands and thousands of people there. It's we try and tend to stay away from the bar scene. Nothing wrong with the bar scene, but our what we want to do and our booking, and quite frankly, our price tag needs a lot of people to support that. So
Yes.
what Classic Rock is that just the key fantastic players. Every guy on this roster is that pinnacle all-star type thing that Tim, the Eagles Project, is doing as well.
Oh yeah.
We do just have great players. We do everything to the hilt. We do it very well, and it's done very professionally on a different level. That 70s type thing. If you want a genre, we're taking anything from Boston to Styx to Foreigner to Queen to a long portion of Zeppelin is a big part of our draw as well. So that kind of thing. Rod Stewart is becoming a bigger part of it as we grow. We do a lot of traveling too. We do a lot of traveling. You don't see us in Cincinnati very often. We played everywhere from Chicago, Illinois to Washington, D.C. down to Atlanta, Georgia later next month. This weekend, we're playing in Southern Kentucky at a festival. So we're all over the place. I see a lot of a bus, and we see a lot of new faces, which I really love. I love to see that. Make new friends, great new attractions, and try and wow some new people.
And didn't you guys play a show early on at the Sorg Theater in Middletown? I think
yes, we did.
You were on. What a beautiful place to play.
Those are the type of venues I referenced theaters. We play old theaters in great cities that, first of all, treat us very well. They are the most professional. They have scores of people to cater to us that have the most professional lightmen, the most professional soundmen, crews that help us get that right show because they know the venue. The Sorg is a perfect example, like you said, up in Middletown, that we play. Seems like we get on that yearly, date list that sees us to all these places on a regular basis, and get some fantastic shows that you're not going to necessarily see in a bar. It's just a different level of performance.
And those old theaters, man, what a great acoustical environment too. There are some that the Sorg, I've been on stage and then go up in the upper balcony, and someone talking on stage without a PA, you can hear them perfectly in that upper top tier balcony. And it's just amazing to me how they built those places for the acoustics before PAs were ever a thing.
Yeah, they did. And they knew what they were doing way back when, and they've lost that. And you lose that in the bar scene, but you're going to get that type of Taft Theater, that Madison Theater, those kind of places where you can sit down in beautiful acoustic. You're going to see a great show.
Hey, you mentioned the Eagles Project. I saw Rick Kern was on here a minute ago, but the Eagles Project, and I saw them post a picture. They were playing something that looked like a soccer stadium the other night, and I'm thinking that cannot be good for sound.
That was a very hot day. I know that they were in the Indiana area. I was looking at that, and I was just awestruck at the amount. That's the type of venue that we are looking at these days, that we've almost graduated to. And those guys, the Eagles Project is a band that's really taking off. I love to go see them because there's just pure talent there. There's Tim Key is my older brother, and he's always been awe-inspiring. So it's great to see those guys. Those guys really take it to that next level. I'm so happy for them.
Eagles Project, bar none, for me, the best. And I've seen probably 15 Eagles tributes across the country, and I will say that they are the best in the United States. Bar none.
I'm not a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so good. And there's Rick chiming in here. What's he got to say? He said, believe it or not, the sound was great, cutting edge. I'm glad to hear it because I looked at the room and I thought, wow, that's like a big giant pole barn. And yes. I was thinking that's going to be ugly for the sound, but I'm glad it was.
It's like if you picture the inside of the Bengals practice field, that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, how are we going to fill this up? And boy, they got small PAs that have big sound these days, and it just I'm sure it sounded fantastic.
It's amazing. Well, Greg, let's recap this event. We're running out of time. Let's recap the event again for the Saturday, the 20th of September. You want to run it down for everybody?
Yeah, Saturday, September 20th. Doors open at 6. I think Brain Bucket will start about 7 ish, maybe. And those are not set in stone because I know how things like this go. looking forward to a really great show, going down memory lane, seeing some songs and a lot of that set list that Prisoner Resurrected does not play. Although that's going to be the main core of the band, we are also talking about some possible very surprise appearance by a very special guest that we're doing all this for. That has not been confirmed yet. We're looking to see a couple of details on that. So I'm just going to keep that to my breast. But so I'm not to name any names, but Michael Scott, what?
Wouldn't that be great?
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Michael is probably not in the greatest strength, but wouldn't that be fantastic? We'll see what happens. We'd love to see everybody out there. Please spread the word. If it's just a text, hey, I can't go, but go on down there. Hey, by the way, I know you still like Prisoner. Go down there and say hi. We'd love to see you, and bring some pictures too, old pictures. We love to walk down memory lane because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures we have never seen before that we'd love to walk down memory lane with you all.
And some you may not want to see either.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably a few from those days, when you're playing 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week, it tends to work on the brain a little there. Sure. But good stuff. Greg, I can't thank you enough for coming on and talking about this today. I hope everybody rolls into the Blue Note on that Saturday. And at least if you're a Prisoner fan ever in your life, you ever enjoyed a show from them, go support this because they're doing it for the right reasons, guys. And they're going to play. It's going to be probably an epic night of music, I would assume.
I'm counting on it. We're getting ready for a great show.
Perfect. Anything else you want to share today, Greg, before we let everybody go?
No, I think that's great. Just wanted to say hi to everybody out there. Everybody who's still going out there and seeing, local music. I applaud you. I love that. I really do think that there is a burgeoning scene again. There was a lull. There was always ebbs and flows to the music scene. I've seen a transformation that you never saw in the 80s and 90s for the most part of women singers that are kicking my ass.
Oh my goodness, yes.
They're not only great performers, they're great singers, and they hold up their end and they're singing men's songs, they're singing girl songs and giving a whole new genre of entertainment out there that we never saw back then. And I applaud that. I love it. I would love to get up there and sing with, so many of them out there that just aren't afraid to do it anymore. That's our society. I love it.
Yeah, it's the Cincinnati music scene, bar none. Again, another one in the country that I'd put it up against any other music scene out there across the nation because it's not only a great music scene, it's a supportive music scene. Each person in this scene supports each other. They're going to support this event, Greg, and can't wait to hear the results of that. You guys have already done wonderful work raising money without even the event, so I can't imagine what it's going to be after the event. Sure. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Scott, I appreciate it, your time, and spreading the word out there and everything you do every Wednesday. Been checking in every once in a while when I can or hitting it afterwards. So, and spreading the good news.
Thanks. And if you're watching afterwards, guys, please drop a comment in there and just say hi to the guys from Prisoner that are going to be putting this event on. Thank you, Aaron Thomas, for that great comment. I appreciate you very much. And we're going to get out of here and let Greg go today. But again, Saturday, September 20th, Blue Note Harrison, Prisoner Resurrected, benefit for Michael Scott, doors at 6. Show starts around 7-ish. I emphasize ish.
Okay.
And check that out, guys. And join me tomorrow live at 5 for Who's Playing Out, the best musicians and venues in the tri-state and who's playing there all week long. Until then, guys, you know our motto here. Hold on. I have to stop. I almost forgot something. Greg, I ask this of everybody I interview, and you're not going to get away without it. Who, if you had a bucket list item, who would you take the stage with, past or present?
Oh, wow. Past or present. Geez. Aerosmith, for sure. Would be one of my favorites. Beatles, of course, who wouldn't? But boy, that's a good one. You know what? I like Daughtry. I think his music to me is so in my pocket. I'd love that. I played with we played with some fun people that I would do that in a heartbeat. The Who, the most of those classic rock people that I grew up with. That's my thing. That would be a fun thing to do.
That's awesome.
Or the Eagles Project. What do you think about that?
Eagles Project. There we go. I'd like to be on stage. I was on stage with them once. I got to introduce them at the Blue Note, and I was kind of like a fanboy up there. I was just standing there in awe watching the great talent on that stage. So thank you, Greg. You've been a wonderful person to talk to today. Thanks so much. And guys, remember our motto here at All Around Town Radio. Get out and support live local music and the bands and venues that bring it to you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.